Hey, what's up? Sir Dead Knight here, and we're in Diablo 4. This week they released the tower. So if you're familiar with playing the pit and the tower now share the same obelisk in Cerrigar. So head over to Cerrigar and hop in. The tower is a leaderboard event, so there's no loot. You get XP as you go through the level, although it's not any different than going through any other level, but your main goal is to get through the tower as fast as possible. So you may like your level that you get and spawn in. If you don't, you get another floor. So there's a few floors that you can go through, and if you don't have enough enemies in your certain floor, then you just hop into the next one until you finish. And then a boss is going to spawn, and you're going to take care of the boss, and then you're going to secure your time on the leaderboard. So the way the leaderboard works is the fastest and also the highest completion of levels. So if you pick tower 75 and then you have pit 75, you just toggle that on, and I'll show you here in just a minute. And then the highest on the leaderboard, you can check that and see if your build can beat that, and that is the goal of the tower. So with that, let's hop in, and I will go over a few things that I think are good and also we might change throughout the tower. All right, let's go ahead and load up the tower, and we're going to hop straight in. So the Artificer's Obelisk is where you get this, and we're going to hop into a just random tier. So I'm going to pick tier 80, and then let's check out the leaderboards. So you have solo leaderboards for each class in Diablo. We've got Paladin and Sorcerer, Rogue, Druid, Mage. Basically every single class has its own leaderboard. As you go through, you can see who's on top. You see, either streamers. Sometimes you see the folks who make the builds. They usually do pretty well on here. This is the first season of these, and you can see the time remaining is 10 days. So leaderboards will reset after 10 days. There's also group leaderboards, so you can see party of 2, party of 3, and party of 4. Now, as mentioned, to get into the tower, we just pick the tower instead of the pit. And you start on tower floor 1. So you start in this little area. It's like a protected area, and you have a 10-minute timer. So your goal is to slay demons as fast as you can. And if you see these orbs on the ground, you want to pick those up because those make your progress bar go even faster. So if you play Diablo 3, you know the rifts and the greater rifts had these orbs, and they would speed up your progression as you went through. You would look for elites, and on the map, when you see a red dot up in the top right, you'll see that's your elite, and it's going to give you these orbs. So as you go through there. Now, one thing I would like to change here is maybe a different indicator on the map to show you that you have an elite pack, or to make it more of a challenge, we could just take it away. So you wouldn't really go hunting for that. You would just be hunting all over the map. I can't really decide yet. I'm not sure if I want to make this more challenging or if I want to make it more accessible. So let's get back to it. So as you go through the map, you're really just killing stuff, and just use your map as best as you can. You're going to see these pylons. These are power pylons, and you'll notice that you have to break it to activate it. Now, one thing I want to see on the pylons is perhaps there is a positive effect and maybe a slight negative effect, kind of like you see during the season right now that we're in, where you can put a gem in a slot for the powers that give you they're cursed or they're blessed, and they give you either they give you more rewards, but they can also give you negative effects, which give you even more rewards. So if you want to speed up your run, maybe there's pylons that actually give you negative effects, but maybe you get more orbs as you go through it. So it just might be like a balance thing that we could add to it as we go along. For now, every single pylon has a positive effect. All right, so we're going through a run. I'm on tower 98 right now, so when I pick 80 right here, I'm just, I'm kind of going to blow through here and pick up orbs. And I mean, we're looking for a fast time, but this isn't going to get me on the leaderboard at all right now. So now we've got 2 pylons, and I think you can stack pylons just based on the icons below. It looks like we have 2 pylons that are stacked. We ran out of enemies on floor 1, so now we just hop into floor 2 and just continue. So sometimes you get a good floor, it's an open floor. Sometimes you get one that's closed off. It's just kind of the it's the luck of the draw. Whenever you're speed running through greater rifts in Diablo, there was a way to basically, if you didn't like your floor and you were trying to do leaderboard stuff, you could basically just yeet yourself out of it. Here we go, we got another pylon here. So that's our 3rd pylon that we've activated. They don't last forever, obviously, but they're pretty frequent. So here's number 4. You can see we got another red enemy down there. I just went ahead and skipped it because I guess I'm cool like that. If you do see goblins out here, you want to take out the goblins because they will give you, they'll give you some orbs. And you can see we spawned the guardian. And there we go. So time completed, 218 on a tier 80. So that's basically the tower in a nutshell. We do have a couple of suggestions for the next iteration of the tower. I think we can offer some things that either give a boon and maybe a detriment. I think leaderboards resetting is good. It's healthy. I think we should offer maybe some kind of loot. I mean, even the greater rifts in Diablo 3 gave you some loot at the end of it. In fact, you were kind of hunting for some of that loot. So whether you're doing a rift, a greater rift, now you're doing the pit or the tower. The pit gives you upgrades to your paragon, so you can go through there and upgrade glyphs there. The tower gives you literally nothing but a leaderboard. So perhaps we have a mix mash of tower plus pit in the future, so we're still getting some bonus and still doing some speed run, but not necessarily having one that just doesn't give you any rewards at all unless you count experience as a reward. So for now, is it fun? To me, I'm not a huge leaderboard pusher, so to me, not really yet. If I'm going to do it, it's really just going to be testing a build just to see how high I can get it. But I can also do that same thing in the pit instead of the tower and actually get rewarded for it up to a certain point. Now, when you max out all your glyphs, obviously you're going to want to switch over to the tower and just keep going, because there won't really be, I mean, you get a little bit of gear, but you're not really going to be gearing too much in the pit. In my opinion, you're going to be doing boss keys for that. For me, I'm looking for kind of plus and minus on some of the pylons, and perhaps, I don't know, maybe fewer pylons. If you want to make your run stack, maybe you can select modifiers before you get into the run. So you can say no pylons, and we could have different variations of the leaderboards to see, like a hardcore tower would be no pylons, no orbs, you know, so on and so forth, and just see how far people get without that. But maybe I'm digging too much into the core gameplay. So let me know what you think. Otherwise, this is the tower and Diablo 4, and I'll see you in the next one.